Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 2 replay. Spawn on the north side as the colors always get mixed around, so spawn on the south side as the red Soviets, we have $300. Spawn as the orange Soviet, we have a foreign name. Spawn as teammate as the magenta Soviet, we have Rumartinez89. Spawn as opponent as the blue OKW player, we have Eiche. Probably butchered that. As the cyan OKW player of NOWR. And as the yellow OKW player, we have Akerbeltz. Probably butchering that as well. We do got some Doctrine lock-ins, Breakthrough Doctrine. And we have a Mechanized Support Tactics. Conscripts are eyeing to push their way forward. They're blowing out some sandbags. We've got the both magenta and yellow capture up the right side of the map. Just red, orange, and magenta is pushing up the left side of the map. So red can't really push too far forward. Deploying out some wire there, very nice. And the conscripts are just staying on behind that heavy cover, very nice. Which would be a bit hard to displace them there. He could run, one of them could run forward over here, throw in a grenade over the hedge. Combat engineers are engaging the Volksgrenadier at close range. And we got another squad of Panzer Fusiliers been deployed on out. And the combat engineers will be forced on back. Red does advance forward for a brief moment. Maxim has been deployed on out. Trying to set it up. There's a very good angle here. He needs to start hitting this guy right there. Does suppressing that squad. This other one may get suppressed as well. Yes, it does get suppressed by the AoE suppression. And it does fall back to that squad. Any reinforcing squads supporting out? No, the Maxim could get flanked there. And decides to fall back, maybe do a full retreat at this point since he has recovered from suppression. Orange's Maxim's now make his way forward, does do a full retreat there. Second squad of combat engineers have been pulled out by Orange. He's pushed very far forward as well. 90 cutoff point, however. The fuel point has been claimed up by Magenta. We do got a scout cart here, load up with some Pinos. One model's down, but there's only 4 slots there for the squad. Maxim will get flanked there by the Volksgrenadiers. Combat engineers making their advance forward. And it looks like the small burst there, but not enough to get out suppression. Does fall back to both squads here. Volksgrenadiers now getting hit by 2 squads. We got some conscripts here. He needs to start focusing down these Shum Pioneers before they get close. They're quite wounded as well, so they can get quickly focused down. There we go. He's getting focused down now. Get some serious damage there. And now we've got some flamers deployed on out. We do have these combat engineers behind some heavy cover there. Shum Pioneers trying to close the distance. And the combat engineers are forced to fall back. Pinos are engaged at point blank range. And now Scout Cars are advancing forward, which can do some great work against the Shum Pioneer. He's going to try. No, he does not load up the Pino squad at the last moment. We do not see an AT grenade there. 30 cal engaging as well. The M1919A4. Second scout car has been deployed out. This one loaded for the combat engineers. No flamer being deployed now. Combat engineers do have good rifles either way.
We now have access to KV-8 flamethrower tanks. Combat engineers can now place anti-personnel mines.
Shum Pioneers do manage to get inside the garrison and falling back. Do have 1 Patrick deployed on out. Over here we do got some combat engineers. Making some good damage in there. And more landmines are being deployed out over here. Stone Pioneers are going to see some focus fire there by these conscripts. And getting some good damage in. Do have some Volksgrenadiers or Panzerfusiliers behind some of this light cover in the region. There's some bit of heavy cover there as well, but being behind light cover, which means it doesn't sustain any extra damage, but they're bunched up, so they do have some actually good AoE damage nonetheless. Over here, Flamer Combat Engineers trying to engage, does get forced back there. We do have a Commissar deployed on out. I also hear Officer deployed on out. Not sure by which player though. I guess. Oh no, that's just the ability thing is ready. Does find a shoe mine there, and Incendiary Grenade does connect with the conscripts.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Over here, you have the Scout Car rushing forward. Does use overdrive there. Panzerfaust does connect there. We do have Thompson's Tower load up on these assault guards. The Scout Car will be falling on back, while the assault guards are pushing the way forward. Getting way overwhelmed there. Does fall back. The Scout Car is going to be limping away. We have the Cannon Warfare in pursuit. One shot there and it's down, but the problem is there's some line of sight blockers in the way. Does reveal itself there with the rear M1984. Fires, no, does not manage to get a shot off there. These forces will overrun the conscripts, no problem.
We are losing territory.
And these forces are getting suppressed there. We got some Maxim, as was the officer, engaging, getting some good damage there. We also got the fear propaganda being deployed on out by the Commissar as well. Over here, the Scout Car is still alive. Stone Pioneer is trying to spot, very wounded, however. Fires and does get the Scout Car finally. T-70's being, or Panzer II looks being deployed out by Blue. Blue has lost a significant amount of his forces. Not sure if he deployed a whole lot. He still has a lot, not a whole lot of manpower, so likely has lost a bit. Volksgrenadiers are trying to engage from light cover, failing because the Commissar is behind heavy cover and they are equipped with the SVTs, which is a good weapon. On the right side, MG34 Volksgrenadiers and Stone Pioneers making their advance. We do have a mortar, Soviet mortar deployed out right there. MG34 is making its advance, may find the Flamer Engineer. Flamer Engineer force fire on the ground, very nice. Getting some good bursts in there. Maxim pushing way forward, getting some good suppressive fire there onto the Stone Pioneers. TP-28s have deployed on that squad. Panzer II looks are pushing way forward. The Lynx is may need to get around the flank, get some good rearmor hits there. Not rearmor hits, backdrop hits there. Heard another landmine detection. Do got a Sturm officer deployed on now as well, and the Commissar is making its way back now. Forces capturing the point. Panzer II rolling around, getting some good damage here on the Maxim. A late looks is unusual, but it looks like it's being pretty effective. Conscripts eyeing for some heavy cover there. The looks could potentially destroy the heavy cover itself. And it does destroy the heavy cover there. Now the conscripts only have light cover remaining. He's starting to advance now. The Sturm officers should be able to get some good work in. He does fall back there now. They're eyeing for this cutoff point. Getting that cutoff point will of course be a cutoff point to deny that fuel income. 2 assault guards here, which will not be very effective versus the looks. Scout Car pushing way forward with PTRS Penals in the back. Unusual. Let's see how well it goes. Overdrive has been activated. Mechanic Warfare rolling around. Looks trying to body block the Mechanic Warfare. Ooh, that was a lot of friendly fire damage there. And now we got the AT Satchel wiping out the looks.
Supply sector under attack.
Conscripts are falling back. MG34 and Pentrix are in the region.
More propaganda is available to be dropped on the fascisti.
Over here, the cutoff point has been cut off, and 9 that munitions have come, which can be very important. Though Soviet players tend to stockpile a lot of munitions. Though all the Soviet players are spending their munitions at a reasonable rate, though Red and Orange apparently have the exact same munitions at the moment. Pretty funny. Does a frag grenade there. And the Commissar will be overwhelmed. I think he's using fear propaganda as well. Warfare does get forced back as well. Over here, we got the Shroom Pioneers engaged in 2 squads of combat engineers. They weren't behind heavy cover, and the Shroom Pioneers will win out. Over here, we got the conscripts trying to engage. Fear propaganda still raining on, and does go ahead and maintain the region. Both the Scion's forces are falling on back. We got good focus firing coming on out by the Sturm Officer and Panzer Fusiliers. Panzer Fusiliers have the Panzer upgrade, so they have only 1 rifle left up and running. Sturm Officer making his advance. He does have Oberstlots and models as bodyguards, so he can get some good damage in. And that's a G43 squad now engaging as well. He's starting to focus fire the G43 squad with the Sturm Officers getting some great damage in. We do have the Assault Guards here and here. Assault Guards getting some great damage there onto the Sturm Pioneers. And no stun grenade there by this Sturm Pioneer, which causes them to sustain a lot more damage. If you have all those stun grenades, there's a good chance he just outright wins that fight. We may see a stun grenade from this squad here. Nope, we do see a frag grenade here. Does avoid it, however. Folks right there eyeing for this light cover there. Molotov being thrown? No, Molotov's not being thrown. And his conscripts engaging as well. Throws off the Molotov. Does not cancel at a time. Conscripts eyeing for a bit of heavy cover there, but there's a lot of STGs in this region. Throws off a Molotov there, getting direct hit there on those forces. Do have appear to be more fear propaganda coming in from the Commissar. Does largely avoid that first burst. Molotov, another Molotov has been thrown. Does avoid it, and frag grenade as well. RG-33. These forces will fall back, and the cutoff point will be cut off. There's still a lag in the region, so it's able to get some good softening up these forces. Could see a force retreat by the Sturm Officer as well. Does use a force off retreat there on top of Maxim. No suppression on the Sturm Officer, but does receive extra fire there.
Aufgepasst. The command vehicle has converted to a static building.
Mortar does fall back, avoids a stick grenade. Over here, we got the MG34 getting overran by the Commissar. And here, the point is still being cut off. Panzer Fusiliers do get some shots on these forces. Good damage there onto this Panzer Fusilier. Throws off a Molotov there, burning up the Sturm Pioneer a bit. D4 gets a direct hit there on those Sturm Pioneers, wiping them out. D476, a very effective unit, and not a... There may have been a landmine there. Got a good hit there. Needs to get a Panzerfaust off. Panzerfaust is going to connect. And does not get another mechanical warfare hit. Line of sight blocker right there. You should be able to keep on out of there, no problem. Though, Wilson is able to have another dent. Could see a stick grenade onto these forces. Yes, he's throwing a stick grenade there. No response. Oof. And a full wipe on that frontal squad of some follow-up G43 shots there. Right here. Oh, crap. There's a lot of assault guards. And it's sort of stopping that Sturm Pioneer from withdrawing. Falls back with all those forces. That must have been a reach misclick. Maybe he's not too impressed by his opponent's current composition. Sturm officer is receiving a frag grenade there, and the officer will be falling back. These guys are getting suppressed. Maybe he's calling out the fact that he's trying to go for close range engagements or using a wrong unit composition. Wrong composition. Plus, I don't think I've seen him use stun grenades, so stun grenades could win him the fight, but I haven't seen any of them yet. That looks like a straight run. And it looks like we've got a KV-8 deployed now. MG-34 sitting on up does find the sheer panzer quarters, and that frag was a complete whiff. Over here, Sturm Pioneers will get suppressed there by the Maxim. Not the Sturm Pioneer.
Fresh guards troops are standing by.
T-34 is pushed way forward. Could potentially crush the Sturm Pioneers. Going for the crush. And not necessarily crushed, but fully destroyed by a single tank shot, because he grouped them up quite nicely. And that's sort of one reason why in my mod I have the Sturm Pioneers changed out to a MP40 rather than STGs. I'm trying to make it so STGs are just not spammed out everywhere.
300 points remaining.
You got some more fear propaganda being called on in. Good mortar hit there on the Sturm officer as well. And the T-34 is going to get some great work here. If the cannon rifle does find an angle there, get a good hit there, could potentially push it right there to get some more shots off. Commissar does throw RG-34 onto that squad. KV-8 now advancing, which is also pretty effective against Sturm Pioneers. And now we've got some infrared STGs deployed on out. But when you get overwhelmed by numbers, there's nothing much you can do. 2, 3 Volcano Morphers are in this region. We also have an S-85 and ML-20. The ML-20s already have Veteran C1, 9 kills. I really need to stop selecting on these players. Switching between all the players is actually causing some noticeable lag spikes. ML-20, perhaps I can hit that MG-34, creep the smoke barrage actually. T-34 starting to make his advance, good juice targets there. Those will miss there. Cannon Warfers are going to rotate their angle. We do have some guards here to support to engage those Cannon Warfers. Minor hit there, and one Cannon Warfer does hit. And looks like the ML-20 is rotating its gun, trying to hit some of these forces. Good hit there onto the guard squad. Magenta, all the OPW players are advancing forward. Does force retreat back one of the conscript squads. And nice Molotov there, trying to stall its advance, but they didn't get a whole lot of damage in. Guard squad here could potentially get a good frag grenade. Does receive a senior grenade there. Doesn't get a frag grenade of its own. T-34-76 has been nearly fully repaired, pushing its way forward. Looks like some more fear propaganda in this region. And does throw a frag grenade there. Molotov is there onto the T-34-76. Seeing more and more hits there, and it does go down. Even crushed some of his own teammates' combat engineers. We've got a blue OPW Panzer IV, or Cyan Panzer IV. ML-20 rang on barrage, perhaps right around here, or did right a barrage over there. KV-8 now engaging, melting those Volksgrenadiers. Incendiary grenade thrown, getting some great damage there onto the mortar team. Over here, we've got these forces starting to make their advance. KV-8 getting some great damage in.
Our enemy has only 200 points.
And now the KV-8 now receiving quite a bit of fire.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Panzer Force pushes way forward. We do have the S-85 does send a pen its direction, however. Does roll a miss right there. We've got more fear propaganda raining on in somewhere. Looks like right here. And this time it's from the off map. Panzer IV does find a good hit there onto the guards rifles. Second Panzer IV has been pulled on out as well. S-85 has a lot of targets now in front of him, but this line of sight blockers in the way. Assault guards making their way forward on the left flank. There's a VP being captured on the left flank as well. The VPs are heavily in favor towards the Soviets. Assault guards charging on in. No, yeah, bundle grenade being thrown. Oh, frangible smoke grenade. Very nice. S-85 does find a good hit there onto the Panzer IV. There's an Obsatsen and Schumacher making their advance, however. On the right side, conscripts getting hit. And do fully get pinned there by the MG-34. And L-20 raining another barrage on in. Looks like towards the structures here. Looks like the SGR Panzer Quarters has gone down here. I think that was blues because yellows is right there. S-85 is eyeing his advance, doesn't find any targets over there. We got the Obsatsen pushing the way forward. One of the infrared STGs and good grenade there onto the conscripts, forcing them back. Maxon's now advancing. Trying to get some good damage in. More Panzerschreck shots there onto the S-85. The Panzer-5 will need to fall back. Kennerwerfer does get a hit there. Severely wounded S-85, but the severely wounded S-85 will manage to stay alive. KV-8 now charging forward, trying to get some kills there on the Kennerwerfers. Great damage there coming out onto the KV-8. Incendiary barrage now coming on in from the Soviet anti-infantry tactics. I still don't like that design this doctrine. Beforehand it was a little bit worse, but it's still the fear propaganda and incendiary barrage still pretty much the same thing. Both of them are anti-infantry tools. Sure, one's more crowd control, the other one's more damage, air denial, but still they relatively focus on infantry. Some Pioneers do find a hit there on this S-25. The second S-25 has been put up by the Soviets. Two Zis guns are here, and we do have this guard squad partially crewed up by conscripts, receiving some fire now. Currently, this ML-20 is not firing a barrage. It's an arc, a really good arc for all this stuff. Maybe when he sees that's a lie, he will counter barrage it. Nope, he's eyeing for... Nope. Repositioning. There's a really good blob from the nail. If conscripts are able to hold the line longer than they can, it would be a really, really nice. ML-20 raining on in towards the Sheer Panzer Quarters. Katusha Barrage raining on in this sector as well, but largely missing. Does get one of the Kennerwerfers. And now the KV-8 is now advancing, trying to get some good damage there onto these infantry forces. AT guns will get overran. We got some conscripts here. It does reinforce one of the forces. Does throw off some fear propaganda on the retreat path. MG Maxim has not set up a proper angle there. We may see a grenade there from the guards, and that was actually not a fear propaganda, but actually a forced retreat by one of the squads, by the Sturm officer. And Sturm officer goes down. Another squad goes down. Great strafing run there. ML-20 receiving quite a bit of fire right there. The AT guns should be able to finish off. Nope, they're retargeting towards the Su-85. Incendiary grenade does come on out, and there goes the ML-20. Now the ML-20 does not get direct hit there onto the Mechanowarfer. Nor does that one. So the shots are just raining a little bit far. Obersalzen is going to overrun this artillery piece as well, but we do have the Magenta T-34-76 now gaining some free reign on these Obersalzen. And now we'll get the T-34-76 a lot of free veterancy. That Obersalzen squad may get fully wiped there. No, it does not. But may get one more good shot there. No, it does not. And you have these guards rifles pushing their way forward, assault guards. And the Penal squad will capture the VP. That Stone Pioneer could potentially get wiped there by the Thompsons. No, it does not. It does manage to claim a Mechanowarfer for his own purpose. There's also 2 T-34-76s, 1 KV-8, and an Su-85 for Magenta. That's quite a bit of armor there. Looks like Orange has the one that has the Katusha based on the mini-map. And we do got an ISU-152 deployed now. Force fires the ground right there. Was it concrete? Or war-piercing round? No, it was not war-piercing round. Current loaded up with high explosive rounds. Those are nice frag grenade there. That was a nice high explosive rounds there. Panzerstrikes are advancing, getting some good hits there onto the Su-85, but there goes that Panzer IV. It was already pretty wounded. Goes into 2 AT guns, or 3 AT guns. Panzer IV does force back those conscripts over on the left side. We got the KV-8 charging forward, securing the flank. Ooh, that Panzer IV is dead. Very dead. Sux actually gets minor damage on the AT guns, but nothing too significant. On the left side, Yellow's Panthers now charging forward. There's of course the 2 T-34-76s as was the Su-85. That Panther, there's like going to be a ram on top of the Panther. Su-85 rolling gun around. No, it does not get the gun rolls gun around. Will we see a ram there on the Panther? Multiple rearm hits there. There's the ram, but that may be out of range. KV-8 does go down to the Panzerstrike. And one of the players have been replaced by an AI. It looks like to be Cyan. And likely that Super Spruce will go down. And it looks like he has cast GG, so likely another player may be back in the game. Of course, you have to wait a bit of time before you can surrender, because it recognizes the other player still in the game. Like does get a good hit there on the ISU-152. And Katusha's now raining on in. Free Panther. Did a Panther get decrewed? Oh, Panther gets decrewed. The game's already won, but still, I hate abandoned tanks. Because it punishes people for going from gambling. Like, I mean, that's one of the things that just shouldn't exist in multiplayer at least. Abandoned vehicles. Looks like another player is back in the game. That will be Yellow, just leaving Blue in the game. Yep, this game's pretty much over. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward for a little bit. Practical smoke has been cast. And the VPs are going to rapidly count down, so Blue's just not wanting to surrender, even though the game's over. Yep, these forces are trying to push their way forward. Of course, it's AI, and the last player has finally surrendered. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and signing off.